Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Today I have the most romantic, delicious, amazing meal for you to make for your significant other. We have a perfectly cooked garlic butter ribeye steak. Come on now. We have this delicious, scrumptious, succulent lobster. We have roasted truffle potatoes and a pan seared asparagus on the menu. Let me tell you, this right here, it's gonna make your night. Let me show you how it's done. So you're gonna begin with these petite potatoes. You wanna go ahead and slice them and dice them up just like so. You could cut them as big or as small as you want, just like so. And once we have that taken care of, we're gonna then transfer them into a mixing bowl so we could get them well seasoned up. Once we have them in that bowl, we're gonna hit them with a little bit of oil. You wanna go ahead and massage that in. And once we have them oiled up, we are then gonna season them up proper. And on the screen, you will see everything you need to do so. And of course, as always, it will be listed in the description box for you to reference to. So go ahead and get your hands dirty and mix everything up and make sure your potatoes are well coated up. Now that we have our potatoes well seasoned up, it is time to load them into that air fryer. We're just gonna drop them right into that tray and we're gonna let it go at 380 degrees for about 15 minutes or until they are golden brown, nice and crispy. As for our lobster, I couldn't find anything bigger than this, but we're gonna make it do what it do. I just like to cut off the little legs or whatever you want to call it on the bottom side of our lobster. Then we're gonna slice the top of that shell with some kitchen shears and we're gonna carefully kind of open it up and kind of get our fingers in there to pry that lobster meat out from the shell so it can kind of lay on top just like so you can have a nice beautiful presentation. And you're gonna do this to both of your lobsters. Again, cut that top of the shell and pry that meat on out. Try to be gentle, so you don't break up the meat too much. It is kind of a pain to get it out, but once you get a hang of it, you get a hang of it. All right, so now we got to season up that lobster. On the screen I have displayed everything you need to do, so make sure your lobster tails are well coated up. Of course, you want to season the underside of that lobster meat as well, can't forget that. And I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We are gonna go ahead and bake these lobster tails for about, let's say, 15 minutes. It will vary depending on the size of your lobster, but for this, 15 minutes was enough. Go ahead and get it in there and let it do what it do. We're gonna move on to that ribeye steak. You wanna go ahead and drop a little bit of oil on it, massage it on both sides, make sure it's well coated up in that oil. And once we have that taken care of, we're gonna go ahead and generously season our steak. A lot of people like to only use salt and pepper on their steak. Me, I gotta have the salt and pepper, of course, but I like to add onion powder and garlic powder as well. That's just me. That's just how I like to do it. You know what I'm saying? So you do want to get a nice, generous coating on your steak. You want to make sure it's well coated up. You want to pat that seasoning on in. And once that's taken care of, we're going to move on to the next step, which is getting this bad boy cooked up. So I have my cast iron pan on high, smoking high, literally. As you can see on the screen, You could use oil in your pan, but I like to use some beef tallow. And once that's melted, you want to go ahead and drop your steak right on in. You want to get a nice, beautiful sear. I let it go for about 2 minutes on the first side. And this is how you should be looking so far. We're going to go ahead and flip it. We're looking really, really good so far. You want to go ahead and let that other side cook for the same amount of time. Once that 2 minutes is up, you do want to lower your heat. Lower your heat to about a medium, okay? And we're gonna drop in about half a stick of butter. We're gonna toss in a whole lot of garlic. We're gonna toss in some shallot as well as some rosemary. And if you want, you can also toss in some thyme as well. And what you wanna do is baste your steak, baby. Grab that spoon and get to basting. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over at this point, and I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, baste away. Just like so. And as you can see, our steak is on the thicker side. So to get to the desired temperature, I'm then going to transfer my steak onto a wire rack, and we are going to throw this in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until it gets to the desired internal temperature. I was aiming for about a medium. But as you guys already know, everybody likes their steak at a different temperature. Some people like it well done. Some people like it medium rare. So the cook time will vary depending on how you like your steak cooked. I recommend you probe it, check the temperature, and go from there. Moving on, we got to get that asparagus going. I drizzle a little bit of oil into the pan, drop that asparagus in there, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder, and I'm just going to saute this asparagus in the pan until they get to my desired tenderness, baby. Now that our asparagus is done, we are going to work on that butter sauce to go on top of our lobster. I'm tossing in a little bit of unsalted butter, some chopped up shallots, and some chopped up garlic, as well as a little bit of parsley. You want to go ahead and mix that up. And we can't forget a little bit of lemon juice. We're tossing in the juice of half a lemon right on into the pan, and you are pretty much ready to go. Our lobster is done, fully cooked. This is how you should be looking. And I'm gonna grab that butter sauce and I'm just gonna drop that right over our lobster, just like so. OMG, stop playing with me. This right here is simply delicious, absolutely amazing. Look at that. Our potatoes are done. Everything is just coming together at this point. They are looking beautiful. I'm gonna transfer them into a mixing bowl, and we're gonna toss in some truffle oil, and we're gonna toss in a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, as well as some fresh chopped parsley. You want to go ahead and get everything in this bowl right here and give it a nice little mix. Oh my goodness, man. I love me some truffle potatoes. You can't go wrong with this. Wow, wow, and wow. So this is the end result right here. And let me tell you, this recipe right here is a 10 out of 10. As you can see, this is how I love my steak. I don't want no dry steak where I'm struggling to cut through it. You know what I'm saying? This is perfect right here. Melts in your mouth. Oh my goodness. So much flavor going on this plate. There's no if, and, buts, or maybe. You definitely got to make this for your significant other this Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? Takes no time, takes no effort, and it is jam-packed with so much flavor. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I will be sure to see you all on the next one. Deuces.